been giving SSC CGL examinations for the past and you are just not able to qualify, you are not even able to qualify the pre-examination. Or you are another category of students who is qualifying the pre-examinations but is somehow not able to clear the cutoff of the mains. Or you are a student who is clearing the cutoff of the mains also but somehow still not being called for a job. Or you are simply a beginner who is new into the sea of the SSC CGL preparation. This video caters to all of your needs individually, one by one. So I am here today to bring a full plan in front of you with a detailed strategy and specifically focusing on what not to do. What are the most common errors which you would have made or which you could make? If you avoid those, definitely success will become closer. Success will come closer. It will become easier. It will become more clear that how you can go towards your goal. So let's start this video and make sure you watch this video till the end. And if you are new to the Oliveboard platform, simply directly hit the subscribe button and do hit the notification icon so that you get timely updates when we bring wonderful content for you. Do like the video and watch it till the end. Let's start. So when we first we'll divide about the complete time. The examination may be somewhere in the month of July. So assuming that we need to take some time off as to how we break it down. Okay. If you are a beginner, what you need to be focused on is you need some time for your concept building. Now, concept building or basics is not about regular concept. Here, concept building or basic implies prerequisites. Prerequisite means, for example, if I talk about logical reasoning, in the logical reasoning section, you need to remember the place values from A to Z, the reverse place values from Z to A, right? Common letters like how you add and get a new letter, how you subtract and get another letter. So converting letters into numbers, right? Common number tricks. You should know about squares, cubes, squares of perfect squares till 30, perfect square cubes till 20 or more, right? You should know some few tricks, calculation tricks. You should be fast at calculation. Now, if you come to quant section, you should build your calculation. You'll be quick at calculation, addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. You should leave your old methods behind. Try to approach to newer tricks which will give you faster answers, right? So you need to have all those basics cleared in the first 2 weeks itself. For English, you need to have some knowledge of grammar, etc. Basic level, right? Once you are done with this concept building, the basic concept building, then you move towards your core preparation. That then is when you move towards the core preparation, the actual preparation which will start. Okay. So you will have your complete detailed analogy of the syllabus. Then after that, you will enter into the preparation phase. You will start preparing one by one. 2 months you will be dedicating for that. Now this I am talking about either a beginner who has been preparing for a while, but now is just needs to boost up in the last 3-4 months so that they can get the correct strategy to win. For those who have already prepared, I would suggest directly skip to this part. So for you, all this while you have to do this only, and you need to spend this time for those topics where you found yourself weak in the last preparation game, or you found yourself, you left those topics purposefully that no, this is not my cup of cake. I don't want to, this is not my cup of tea. I don't want to handle this, right? So then this is the time when you come back to it, you revise it and you get it completely into your system. Okay. So this is how you can customize it as per your own needs. Once you come to the revision phase, 1 month at least should be only left for revising everything. One source multiple times is always better than multiple sources, not even one time, right? Don't run across multiple sources. Stick to one source and keep repeating that. So even if you're done once, repeat that again, re-study your notes, revise your notes, go through your notes, and you have to have your own notes. Whatever notes your faculties provide you, even PDFs which we provide, they are like a support system, but you have to build your own system first using that support system. Okay. So focus on that, and then mock test, full length mock test. So in this zone, you can attempt subject wise mock test, the sectional mock test. Also, you have to study all subjects. You have to give equal importance. Equal importance means, see, all 4 subjects are equally important. So you can't start with the I'll study maths only, not others, and I'll study English only, not others. You have to be very focused, cover everything in detail. GK needs a lot of your time, right? Quant needs a lot of your time because you need to practice. Reasoning needs lesser time, but regular practice. You can't just practice reasoning in 15 days and then stop doing it. You need to be in regular touch to keep that speed. English needs to be regular for building vocabulary, you know, idioms, phrases, one word substitution. So you have to have that. Okay, so your sectional mocks and your practice full length mocks will help you. So this is a complete basic strategy which you would need to follow, and I think more or less everybody does that, right? Now moving forward for here, there are some points which I need to lay stress on. So firstly, if you are a beginner, you first need to see, this is a very common saying in SSC. Those who say that I cracked the exam in 4 months, 6 months, no. Actually, a lot of students realize that this 4-month or 6-month journey is rarely which starts from the very first day. This journey actually has a backstory. The student was either preparing for some other government exam, or had a feel of the competitive examination already, or had roughly some idea about the topics, the concepts, and he just started preparing for SSC CGL, or was a previous student, maybe one day he decided that I don't want to, you know, I want to give up the preparation. He took a break and then again maybe felt that I want to start, and then in 4 months he prepared and gave the examination. So there is always some backstory associated with it, right? For some individuals it may be possible. It is not completely impossible for you to start from scratch, but then you need to devise a very solid foolproof plan, and you need to strictly adhere to it. But if you are not one of those individuals, then some backstory is always going to help you. So always remember, whenever you start, you need to first familiarize yourself with the complete syllabus and format of the examination. And complete syllabus means in complete detail. And you also need to know from sources that what needs to be studied and what needs to be left out. This will also be as per your understanding and thinking. Okay, nothing needs to be left out completely, but you can lay less focus on stuff which is not repeated more often, and more focus on repeating and revising those points which are more relevant or more commonly or more frequently asked. Then you need to prepare a timetable and adhere to it strictly follow it. That is very important. You can't just make a timetable and be lousy about it, that are not today, maybe tomorrow. Do not procrastinate. So make a timetable and make sure that you achieve everything, you cover everything. Each day has to be a productive day. Now, a lot of students, they take a strategy. What is the strategy? The common strategy, this is one of the common mistakes which you make. The common strategy which you take up is that, okay, oh, this is what I have to cover. Fine, I'll start from today. From today, I will do only geography portion I'll finish. History portion I'll do this much. You're done. Today you do it well. You're motivated for the first 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days, you do this. Then you start losing motivation. You start feeling tired. And when you start losing that energy, gradually you'll say, let's take an off day today. Yeah, tomorrow I'll do it. Now, after a gap of 4, 5 days, you realize, oh, no, I think I've lost a lot of time. I need to come back. You will come back again. You'll start studying again. You could have lost a lot of things in this time period. Maybe you have forgotten things which you were mastering, right? And taking breaks in between, if you are going to reach your final goal, thinking that my syllabus will be complete, then it will never get completed. So first and foremost, you need to identify everything and, make a crisp understanding that, okay, this is how much I have to study and this is how much time I need to finish this. So this is the final deadline. Note that deadline. Now from today till that deadline, create a total plan. So divide this into your months, weeks and daily targets. Okay. Monthly, weekly, daily target, and start achieving it accordingly. Make sure you have a productive day every day. Don't even skip one day. So today, if you're not feeling like doing, let's say you're not feeling like studying anything, mugging any fact up, you're not, not interested in that. So then pick up quant and just do practice. But do something. Don't let the day go waste. Even while you're traveling, even while you're moving around, you can use technology. You can, record your own sessions, not video, audio, because sometimes, watching your own self teaching might be helpful, might not be helpful. But sometimes if you just, say, whenever you're studying, just sit and say it loud and just let it record. And then whenever you're moving around on 1.5x, 2x, just listen to your own self rather than listening to music. You will be able to relate it much better. Things will stay with you much longer. Right? So utilize each and every minute in the day as much as possible. Take breaks, that is sufficiently important, but do not waste your time. Choosing concise content is very important. So when you normally see a class, you normally see a place, you see like, okay, there are 300 PDFs. So I'll probably take this much time to study. No, 300 PDFs, you'll have to study, you'll have to prepare your own notes, you'll have to practice. So those 300 PDFs you might not be able to finish them in the time span which you were actually thinking. It might just be 3x of that. Okay, a 1 hour session may not be of 1 hour, because after you watch that session, you need to prepare some notes. You might have to re-watch it. You might have to solve some practice questions based on it, and then you will be ready on that topic. So you actually end up spending 3 to 4 hours on it. So prepare accordingly. So choose concise content. You can choose a paid batch. You can choose your YouTube. If you are a repeater student, repeater means if you are a student who has already given the exam in the past and you're trying it again this year, you want to ace it this year, and you have already studied everything, so you may just limit yourself to some free content. If you are a new beginner, you can start subscribe to some paid content. So whatever you choose, that is your choice, but once you choose it, stick to it. Don't run across multiple sources. That is going to completely waste your time, and it's going to give you multiple directions. See, each direction is reaching your goal. No matter what path you choose, you just need to choose one path and stick to it no matter what. Okay, so this is very important. This is where a lot of people make mistakes, and a lot of you come from, let's say, I would say your college backgrounds. Usually students have this habit of collecting notes. Oh, there's a printout, give it to me. Oh, there are some Xerox copies, give it to me. Oh, this book, reference book, give it to me. You collect everything because you have the fear of missing out. It's a FOMO. That FOMO is created within you automatically. Oh, these notes are the best notes for SSC. You cannot skip this. You just download and keep it with you. You never reopen it. Specifically in the digital form, it's useless. Okay, you never reopen it. And that is where it goes. You keep on collecting stuff, but you never revisit it. So don't resist that urge. Okay. So this is one of the errors. Whatever common mistakes you make, I have highlighted that in red, and I will elaborate on that point. Next is, again, this I have already told you, create a whole plan and then break it down into monthly, weekly and daily targets. That is what is more helpful. That will make it more achievable, and it will make more sense. It will give you a sense that this is the deadline. Can you afford to take a break? If yes, then do. If no, then don't. Push yourself harder. Okay. Avoid procrastination. Again, I have already told you how to do that. Procrastination starts coming to you because it is a habit. It's an inbuilt habit, not of you, not of me, but of everybody. Almost everybody goes through this. One of the primary reasons is because you look at it as something big. You look at your goal as something big, something unachievable, and then you start procrastinating because you don't want your heart to accept that this is impossible, right? Break it down into smaller targets, as I've already told you. Smaller achievable targets, you will reach there. Okay. Simultaneously practice sectional mocks. So you need to build on the practice aspect as well. Studying one concept and understanding maybe 10 questions from a YouTube session might not be sufficient, because in a limited YouTube session, a teacher cannot give you everything possible. So then what you need to do is you need to practice yourself. At least practice 20, 25, 30, 45, 50, 200 questions if your time permits from that topic alone. That is what is going to give you the confidence, and that is what is going to give you something extra, right? So make sure you do that. Give your simultaneous practice, and sectional mocks are important. And at par exam level only. Students get carried away here also. I think I should have labeled this also as a mistake. Students get carried away here. So a lot of you who have already prepared in the past and who are already at par, they start getting that hunger that we want more. Increase the level, increase the level, increase the level. But SSC is going to ask you this level only. And then you start feeling that, oh, the level was very easy. What's the point? The cutoff is going to be high. Why are you practicing on a level which is not required? A little bit of brain stimulation, I can understand, maybe 4 or 5 questions here and there, you can do that. But unnecessarily, while preparing for SSC, you don't remember, you don't, hold in yourself, and you end up practicing questions of, let's say, CAT level or banking level. Not needed. You're wasting your time. Right? So focus on what is going to come. Keep repeating. I know it's going to get tiring, but keep repeating. Keep repeating so that you don't even have to think before you solve the question. Once you look at the question, you know what you have to do. Simply your hand starts moving. That is the fluidity which we need. You guys think that, okay, I've learned the concept, I just need to apply and solve and get the answer. So you are still wasting a few seconds while you think. When you look at the question, you're like, oh, this is how this is how I need to solve it. Okay, yeah, done. I'm talking about questions where you need to solve, quant and reasoning. So you need to be so fluid here that you just look at the question and you instantly know what you have to do. Probably in a few seconds, you're getting the answer and you're moving ahead. Or in a few seconds, it's clear to you that I'm not going to get the answer. Right? So be careful about that. The next is gradient practice. I've already told you. You increase your level gradually and go up to exam level, and also practice full length mocks. Full length mocks, practice them, analyze them, completely. And initially when you start practicing full length mocks, the idea is not to see how much you know or where you are standing or what is going to happen in the final exam. No, the idea, it is not a simulation. The idea is just for you to understand where you are lacking and how much more you need to focus. So understand, okay, these points seem to be strong. I think I'm weak in analogy. I think I'm weak in number series. I think missing numbers is troubling me. I think coding decoding is slightly off. I think blood relations, the coded part is troubling me. Rest everything is fine. Focus on those topics and redo them once again. Revise them once again. Practice some more questions. Practice some more sectional tests, and then come back for our next full length test. So do that. Okay, and use your full length mocks to practice and to experiment. So a lot of students, these three essential points and these three essential mistakes is made by a lot of students. A lot of you feel that okay, everything is fine, especially with beginners. With beginners, they realize this after one attempt of the actual examination. The sequence in which you attempt your examination is also very important. So you can't just sit and blindly start from section A, that is the first section, and you just start solving, because the papers are designed in such a way that for the first 10 or 12 questions you might not even know the answer unless and until you have prepared very thoroughly, and that starts sucking off your motivation. You suddenly feel, oh no, you suddenly feel the pressure, and now you're struggling because whatever was on your tips, now you need to remember that. You struggle in the middle part of your paper, and by the time you reach the end where the actual easy questions could have been, you just can't do it because the time is over. So you need to have a strategy. You need to check what works best for you. This is the most recommended strategy almost everywhere. GERM stands for GK, English, Reasoning, Mathematics, that is quant. But again, you can change your strategy as per your will. Maybe English, GK, Reasoning, Mathematics. Sometimes reasoning people also do first. Reasoning, GK, English, Mathematics, whatever is comfortable. But quant is usually kept at the end because you want to define time for quant. If you do it in the starting, you will end up wasting a lot of time in covering all the questions. We don't need to do that. You don't have to solve it completely. You can't do 100 questions. So you have to only do those questions which you think you are 100% sure of, and which you think are very time consuming or may not give you the correct answer. You just skip them right away. There will be few questions which you actually need to skip. You don't have to do that. So you need to learn to identify those as well, right? Next is the 1, 2, 3 method. A lot of people don't understand that how to attempt a paper in the first place. Okay, the sequence is fine, but how to do it? So because in the board examinations, when you used to sit for your board exams, your written exams, 10th standard, 12th standard, you had time, even in your college, you have time to read your question paper, right? You get 10-15 minutes to read it first and then start attempting. But that luxury is not there in competitive examinations. But that is actually a requirement. That is a necessity. You need to go through to understand what are the questions I know, what are the questions I don't know, how much I need to put in time in these questions. You need to devise that, and that has to be instantaneous. You can't just go with the flow. So for that, you use the 1, 2, 3 method. What is the 1, 2, 3 method? I'll bring a detailed video on that. But as of now, I'll give you some information that you attempt your paper in 3 parts, 3 times. So in the first time, you just read it and attempt those questions which you're 100% sure of, which instantly you know the answer of. Let's say you finish 20% paper like this and you take around about 10-12 minutes. Then you come back to the first question again. And while you were reading it for the first time, you also marked those questions where you were sure that after calculation, you can get the answer. You need to spend some time there. That is your round number 2. That is the longest round. And after round 1 and round 2, you are done with all those questions which you were 100% sure of. Now comes round 3 where you need to give a booster. This is your rank booster round. You need to take calculated risks. You need to take educated guesswork. So you need to use option elimination techniques. You need to use your brains that, okay, if not with the conventional method, how else can I get the answer? Okay, does it make sense? Does the options help? Do the options help me? And like that, you can maybe solve 5 or 10 bonus questions. You can take some risks. Even if the risk percentage is not, even if the risk percentage pays off in your favor, then it will boost your rank, I mean, extremely. And you will clear that landmark. Because a lot of students, they hesitate. They are so scared of negative marking that they are like, no, I will not take risk at all. You need to take some risk, right? So this is the second biggest mistake which students do. And the third one is exam day stress and anxiety. It is bound to happen. It is bound to happen. 100% guarantee you're going to be stressed, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be anxious on the day of the examination. Why? Because you've put a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation, full of burden, full of baggage on the exam. Why? My job, my future, my parents' pride, Everything is associated with that. What will the society say about me if I am not able to qualify? What am I going to say about myself? How am I going to stand up in this world? What am I going to do? How is my future going to be like? Everything depends on this one examination. So you unnecessarily make it a do or die situation. And in examinations, specifically competitive examinations, do or die situations mostly tend to turn towards the die side, not the do side. And once they turn towards the die side, you're gone. That chance is gone. You can't redeem yourself. Right? And then that whole cycle starts again. You get frustrated, you start venting out your frustration onto your people, your peers, your people around you, people who love you actually. But you are becoming into a monster because constantly you're making some mistake. I have seen students who prepare so beautifully, meticulously, they are so much on the right path, but on the day of the examination, they lose it all. They don't forget everything, they remember everything, but nervousness kills it all. They just can't use the right, they just can't be in the right state of mind. So now that you know that this is going to happen, you need to be prepared for this beforehand. Practice breathing, not on the day of the examination, before it. Whenever you feel nervous, you feel anxious, practice breathing. And don't put a lot of stress on that one examination. It's just an exam. If you clear it, very good, you might ace it. If not, there has to be some other plan for you. So be ready with plans, be ready with options, because that is important. Your life cannot go waste on one examination alone. See, I am giving you brutal truths here. Okay? So be wary of that. Don't waste your life or waste your time on things which are, which are not in your control. So try to curb your exam day stress and anxiety. Learn to breathe, take in a deep breath, hold it for 5 seconds, then release. Repeat this 5 times. You'll start feeling normal. Whenever you're anxious, you do this. Okay? And on the day of the examination, don't go towards the do or die attitude. Go towards the nothing to lose attitude. What worse will happen? I'll not qualify? Okay, I have some other option. What worse will happen? I will not do this, then I'll do that. Not a problem. And there will be students who will write in the comment box that not everybody has option B. Option B is a safety net. We should not do that. If you are at that stage of your life where you have already failed, let's say thrice or 4 times, then it's better that you start having option B with you. I'm not saying that, you have to go there. You should have that, zeal to actually crack the exam. But you should have something to fall back on. Not a very safe or secure net, but something should be there, so that you don't totally lose it and you don't totally get demotivated if you are not selected. Right? So keep things in mind which will keep you as positive as possible. Don't let negativity and frustration, kill you completely over this. So be careful about these little points, and if you keep these points in mind, you are surely this time going to ace it. You just need to push it as much as possible. There will be breakdowns, but you need to learn to get up and dust your knees and keep moving. That is how life is going to treat you in future as well. So with this video, I hope I was able to point out some points which you will keep in mind. You will surely be able to achieve your success. You will surely be able to crack your dream examination, your dream job. On that note, I'll end this session here. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe to the Oliveboard platform for more interesting content. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Namaskar. Jai Hind.